Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Back to Halloween cards. I still got a ton of ideas for Halloween and a ton of products to use. So, wanted to do more flat shakers. I'm on that kick again and they're so fun to make. So to make my flat shakers, first I wanted to create a couple of stenciled backgrounds. So I have my go-to Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. And I'm going to use two different stencil sets. I have the Halloween candy stencil set, and that's the first one I'm going to use. And then I'm going to use the layered spooky icons stencil set. So these are layering sets from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm using just some Spellbinders tape on the back of the Desert Storm cardstock. And then I have my card base right beside. And I use some Post-it tape to mask off where the score line will be. Because I've done this in many videos in the past using my stencils on the insides of my cards. So I was like, it makes sense to just stencil each layer on the Desert Storm cardstock and then immediately work on the inside because it's all right here. So I'm using Oxide inks because Oxide inks look fabulous on Desert Storm cardstock. And they blend like butter. And they're just gorgeous. So I used Carved Pumpkin Oxide ink for this first layer here. And my blending brush, blended it onto the Desert Storm cardstock. I immediately took that stencil, put it onto what will be the inside of the card. And without using the ink pad, I'm not re-inking my brush or anything. And I'm using a much lighter hand. I am just taking the ink that's still on the stencil and just lightly blending it. So it's not going to be as intense because this is going to be the inside of the card. I'm going to write over this. People have asked that many times. I do. I write right over it. I'll just, with one like this, I'll use a black pen or like a little black Sharpie and write my little message and it's good to go. So I'm going to just keep repeating this process. So next stencil, I'm using Mustard Seed Distress Oxide ink and adding all that color. And then moving the stencil over and lining it up onto the inside of the card. And again, without re-inking my blending brush or anything, I'm just kind of pulling the ink from the stencil onto the cardstock and then going on to the next one. I still have the tape on the back of the Desert Storm cardstock piece, so I'm just like sticking the stencil to that and it just works. So then mowed lawn to do the little stems on these little candy pieces. And then again, just repetitive. So after I did the green, for the white part of this stencil, I am using Shark Tooth white pigment ink from Ink on 3. And with white pigment inks, I prefer to use a blending foam. So this is one of my distress blending foams. I keep a dedicated foam just for this white ink. I find I can get a better coverage because I can like pounce the blending foam, you know, versus using like a brush or anything like that. But it's white ink, which isn't going to show up on the inside of the card. So I immediately moved the stencil over. There's still some white ink on there, but I grabbed Speckled Egg Distress Oxide ink and lightly blended that with the white ink onto the inside of the card, and it shows up. And this will actually show up even better with this second card I'm going to do. So with this one, exact same process, hence me speeding it up quite a bit. But this time I'm using the layered spooky icons. So this is another 4-layer stencil set. Again, Desert Storm cardstock. Got the inside of my card base here with the Post-it tape masking off where the score line is. And Carved Pumpkin, again, Distress Oxide ink. And applied it heavily on the Desert Storm. Completely lighter application on the inside of the card. And then my next layer, I'm going to use that Mustard Seed again. So blend that really heavily over the Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. And then I'll line up the stencil on the second one, or on the inside of the card. And then do that lighter blending without adding any more extra ink. And both of these, but especially this one was fun. This stencil set came out at the beginning of September there. And it was sold out for a while because it's been super popular. The other stencil set, the Halloween candy one, that was actually part of the limited edition Halloween kit. All of this is available, like separately. I'll have links as always. But But yeah, they've been super popular and they're so cute. I've been just itching to use them and finally, got the time. So with this layer, again, that Shark Tooth pigment ink with my Ranger blending foams. And then when I put this onto the inside of the card, this is where I'll add instead the speckled egg, because it's such a pale blue. And I'm, again, using a very light hand because I don't want it to be like blue. But when the speckled egg mixes with a little bit of white pigment ink left on the stencil, it just gives it that light little something. So it actually shows up on white cardstock. So did that. And then the final layer, I am using black, and I really like using, this is VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, especially because it's layering on top. You could use Black Soot Distress Oxide ink. That one looks gorgeous too. But I wanted to layer this on top really well. It's habit to use Nocturne ink. With Nocturne ink, I do the same thing. I have a dedicated blending foam. I do not let any of my brushes touch this ink. Unless, again, a dedicated brush. Because this Nocturne ink, it's like an oil-based ink. It's just like, it's my go-to ink. I've used it in a million videos. I keep a dedicated blending foam and I don't mix because I don't want to mix that into my other ink pads. Again, chef's kiss. When I removed that stencil, I was like, yes. Loved it. So on the inside of the card, though, I was already saying, like, VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink is dark. It is intense. I didn't want that on the inside. So what I did was I'm still using that blending foam, but I'm very lightly just kind of pouncing it up and down on top of the stencil. I'm obviously, like, I'm not pressing it into the ink pad. I'm not taking any more ink. It's just picking up, the ink on the stencil. And I'm, again, using a very light hand. I want the images, but I don't want solid black, a layer of ink on here because I wouldn't be able to write over it. And I wasn't sure if it would work out, but I lifted this stencil and I was like, again, chef's kiss. I was like, this is perfect. Everything's aligning and working. So I've shown this in other videos. I have this is a Boone, little drying rack. It's a countertop drying rack. I've had these for years. I've got one in my kitchen I still use. I got them when my kids were little because they're meant for using when you're washing bottles and things like that. But I keep one in my kitchen because it's great for all the reusable straws I'm washing, etc., etc. And then I have that gray one that I keep in my craft area for stencils. Because after I just rinse them under water, I'll use a little bit of soap if I need to. And then I just stack them in the drying rack and let them dry, which has come in super handy now that there's all these layering stencil sets. So I had 8 stencils, which take up a lot of space. But stuck them in the little rack and set them aside. So I'll have links to that as well. And then, of course, I'm going to add splatter. So I did Black Soot Distress Paint splatter on both those backgrounds. And then let those dry. And then I pulled out the Outline Halloween wafer die. This came out a couple years ago, I think. And I wanted the outline of the word to have more color to it. I was going to just die cut it from white, but then I'm like, ooh, why don't I do candy corn colors? Because it goes with what I'm doing. So I just took 3 strips of cardstock. I've got a yellow, an orange, and a white. And I'm using that big, I have this wide Spellbinders tape. You could also just glue this to some copy paper. I prefer either copy paper or taping them together like this versus adhering it to cardstock, because then it would be really, really thick, which would still die cut, but it's just a pain in the butt. So I just taped those pieces together, die cut them with the outline. So now I have that multicolor outline for the word. And then the word itself, I die cut from black cardstock. And then I'm going to do a little bit of finicky adhering. I just used my craft tacky glue with the fine metal tip. And I've mentioned this as well. This fine metal tip, I just ordered it and I screwed it onto one of my bottles of craft tacky glue and it works like a charm. I have also mentioned I keep a little stainless steel sewing pin in the tip of that bottle and it doesn't rust, it doesn't clog, it's been great. I do have a link for them this time. I did some searching on Simon's site and they have a little pack, they're by Art Glitter, of little stainless steel pins. So I will have a link to that from now on next to that little metal tip next to the glue. So that's what I did. Just added thin little bits of adhesive to the back of the die cut sentiment and then adhered the 2 little center areas to the O and the A and got those adhered. And then I'm also got some sentiment strips from a couple of different packs. I'm going to use Simon's Reverse Spooky sentiment strips and the CZ Design Reverse Halloween sentiment strips. And again, I'll have links to those, and I'll get to those in a minute. So I've got all my sentiments. I decided to cut down my backgrounds. I could have just left them like full A2 size, so it would be a full on edge to edge shaker, but I like having the frame of the card base around it. It's just become habit. So I trimmed both these panels down to smaller than my card front. And again, I'm using just packaging that cardstock came in. Especially the cardstock packaging a lot of the times, if it's not the like shrink wrapped style packaging, if it's the cellophane stuff, I keep all this, you know, as long as it's not damaged, or at least at big enough areas that aren't damaged to use for shakers. And I do have an entire playlist on my YouTube channel of flat shaker cards, because I've done quite a few videos now over the last however long. Anyway, cut down that packaging to larger than these panels. And then I'm using some of Simon's Terrific tape just to adhere, and you adhere 3 sides. So I flip this over onto that packaging and then apply the adhesive, peel off the backing, and then fold over the edge. So I've sealed in 3 sides so far. The 4th side, I apply the adhesive, but I don't peel off the backing yet. I need that to, I need that opening to add all my shaker bits. And I went through my stash and found a bunch of random little elements to add. This one is from the Maker's Movement Spooky Shaker Sprinkles, which I think I bought last year or the year before. It's sold out right now. Hopefully they'll be able to restock it, because there's some cute elements in that one. And then I added some black glitter, which is also, that one is not available. That was from the Tim Holtz like Halloween collection last year, and they didn't come back this year. But any black glitter is going to work. So I added black glitter, and I've got these little candy corn bits. And then I decided to add some Distress Rock Candy glitter, just because. I've got this massive jar of it. This stuff lasts forever. So I'm scooping some of that in there. And then I also pulled out some, these are actually the Sunflower Fields sequin pack from Simon. And the colors, again, were just perfect for these cards. So I added some of those, added a bit more glitter. Why not? And then sealed off that 4th side. And then I always take my scissors and I trim off, because after folding up all those edges of the cellophane, sometimes it peeks out past the edge of that panel. So I just trim that off with scissors. And then I've got my little flat shaker. Super, super fun. So I'm going to repeat the process with the second panel, doing the exact same thing. So I got that piece of little packaging. I've got my Terrific tape. I'm going to seal up 3 sides, and I just go 1 side at a time just to get everything lined up and folded over, etc. So once I've got those 3 sides sealed up, I apply the adhesive to the 4th side, but I don't adhere anything yet. And then I just start filling. I just eyeball it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just kind of depends. And as always, I have a heavy hand, so I put a lot in these ones. But it's fun. Like, it's hard to stop, especially with flat shakers. You can actually fit quite a bit in a flat shaker, and I don't know, I love it. So filled that up, sealed off that 4th side, put the lids on those glitter containers, because y'all know otherwise I would have knocked them over. I can't even imagine. I don't even want to think about what a nightmare it would be to try and clean that up. But anyway, put the lids back on, and then to adhere the big die cut Halloween sentiment, I just use that Terrific tape again, because that'll just adhere it fabulously. So I adhered that into place, and then I had cut out the word happy from one of the sentiment strip packs. So it says Happy Halloween. So also adhered that with the Terrific tape, because it's sitting there, so why not? So I'm going to do that to both of these little shaker panels. And then to adhere these to my card bases, you could use pretty much anything for adhesive, but I really do like using either that Terrific tape would be fine. It would just take longer. I happen to have every size of score tape. I don't even know why, but it lasts forever. So I have 1-inch score tape, and I really like using that to adhere these, because I can use that to seal up the edges. It's just kind of that little extra bit of security, especially when I put glitter in these shakers. I want to make sure I've sealed it up really, really well, because I don't think it'd be pretty bad if, it goes through the mail and it like splits open or something, that is something you could do though. Like, not, just fill a card with glitter if you wanted to send it to someone you didn't like, but that's a whole other thing. Anyway, I adhered the panels to the cards with the score tape, and then I added sentiments to the inside from those sentiment strip packs. And the one with just the candy, Halloween candy background, I chose the sentiments from the CZ design pack that says, if you eat peanuts plus candy corn, then you're totally my people. And I can confess here now, I actually tried that this year. I've said in many videos, I don't like candy corn. I've never liked it. I think it's disgusting. I bought some candy corn and those little pumpkin candies that are the same as candy corn, just a different shape. And I had, you know, we've got our Costco Kirkland roasted peanuts that are delicious on their own. Yeah, I mixed them together. Best snack ever. I am converted and I'm kind of obsessed with it. So anyway, I'm just gonna, you know, leave that out there. Candy corn and roasted peanuts, or like salted peanuts. Oh, it hits the sweet and the salty. It's perfect. I love it. Anyway, those are my cards. And oh, yes, shaky. Because yeah, I was playing with them a ton, filming this, and love it. Like I said earlier in the video, I will have a link below the video to my blog post. In the blog post, I'll have the pictures and picture links to everything, so it's easier to navigate. So that will be directly below, as well as the supply list and links to all the supplies I used. So you can check that out in the description box below if you are interested. Thank you all so much for watching and commenting and thumbs upping. Subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye!